figured I'd show you my bottling setup here. I'm stoked that I actually finally have some honey to bottle as well, which is good. I have a few people, a good amount of people that are actually waiting on it here. So you're probably wondering what the heck this big black thing is that's wrapped around my bottling tank. This is the Lyson bottling tank, which I love. It actually has a conical feature on the bottom, so that way you don't have to tip the tank or anything else. All the honey in here wants to come out the spigot, which is wonderful. This right here, this is a heated garden mat. I have it actually, it has a temperature controller on it, which is great. I think it can go up to something silly like 120 degrees. I just have it set to 100 degrees right now. And it doesn't really feel like it's 100 degrees, but it is warming the honey, which is nice. And this setup, compared to a heated tank, the heated tank, if I remember correctly, $480, $500 for the comparable size. For the amount of honey that I'm processing, that'd be great to have, but that's a huge chunk of change. So this one, which was, I don't know, a third of the price, and a $20 or $25 heated garden mat, for right now, that is great for me. And then right here, so this is a sanitation clamp on this model. It does have a honey gate that it comes with it. If you've ever bottled with a honey gate, you know how terrible it is. The flow is hard to control. It generally spills or backs up or gets all over the O-ring, and it just generally makes a mess. This is actually a butterfly valve here that has, it's got a full off position, a 50% position, and a 100% position, full open. You can actually kind of moderate in between those positions as well. This thing is wonderful. Now, when you compare this, which I believe, and I'll have to find the link for it, I think I paid maybe $40, $45, if that much, for this stainless steel butterfly valve. When you compare that to the Lyson bottling valve, which was, I believe, $220 or so right now, I'm sure that bottling valve is wonderful to have. But I'll show you my process with this here. It goes pretty quick, and as long as you get a little bit of finesse by going bottle to bottle, it goes pretty smooth as well. So let me go ahead and move this bottle aside. Get an empty on here for the tear. And let's crack this puppy open and show you what I got going on. So this is at the 50%, flows out pretty good. I could have it going a lot faster than this. And then I just have the second bottle at the ready. And I just switch them out on the fly when it's time. Boom, right there. Weigh that bottle up, make sure I got my pound. I got, yep, 1 pound, 0.3 ounces. Move that to the side. I can actually open this a little bit more because I've lost some head pressure here, so it is slowing down a little bit. Look at that. It's feeling pretty good as far as I'm concerned. Now, I've never used the bottling valve specifically, so I don't know what the rate of fill is on that compared to this, but I'm not even at a full open on this, and it's going just fine. You said a little bit of finesse, weigh it out, move on. And so this works out pretty good. Now eventually, I'd love to get one, the honey pumps and the automated machines that just fill to the pre-designated weight. I'll get there one day, but for now, doing stuff, a little bit of ingenuity on the cheap, it's good stuff. This valve, by the way, it's a sanitation clamp on either side. It does come with a little cap, so that you can put the cap on there when you're done after the honey's drained out. And then usually after I put the cap on, I take another rubber glove and I put that over that as well, just to have an extra layer of protection. That way I'm not dripping honey on my surfaces and such. So. But either way, I'm going to go ahead and keep bottling up. Hope you guys are having a great night and bottling your honey. Whew, man, it is hot and humid out. I'm out here real quick for just something real brief in the bee yard today. Hive 7, which has been a roller coaster ride of my hives this year, is down to like 2 frames of bees, and I gotta go in and check again. She was queen right. The hive was queen right. There is eggs and capped larvae in there. I just want to spot the queen to make sure she's still there. And then just to help them out, I got a little bit of sugar syrup. I'm going to be feeding them again. I got to make up another batch soon. And then I made up a whole bunch of pollen patties as well. I actually put a good amount of honey in those because they're not going to want to go after synthetic pollen right now.
but I really just want to put a boost into them, and I tried to make it as enticing as possible. And I made some extras because I made up those 4 splits last week as well, and I'm going to throw some into there too because it can't hurt. So that's what I'm about to do. I'll show you how sad Hive 7 is in a moment. We'll go ahead and open this up. Yeah, I got about 2.5, almost 3 frames of bees now. Some of those capped brood might have been hatching out. So I do just want to see, like I said, if I could find the queen real quick. So I'm just going to take 1 frame out to make room. There is a good amount of pollen and bee bread on that one, so that's good that they have good food sources. You see I have the Viroxan strips in here. I went through all of my colonies, not my nukes, but my colonies earlier this year, and put those on. And you can really see where the bees are chewing them up and crawling all over them. So hopefully they're doing what they say they're doing. And I'll check those for mite levels once that phase is done. That's a really small drone right there. That's not a good sign. Small drones can be indicative of laying workers. So I need to look at the newest bees and make sure they're not all drones. I don't see the queen yet. Oh, there she is. Marked queen. Still blue. She's in there. She's little, but she's in there. That's all I needed to see. Thank you, Mama. Gonna go right back in. Make sure not to roll her. Move this back together. You guys can get some disgusting bee pudding. I forgot to grab a shim, so I'll be turning the inner cover upside down so they get a little bit more space. Now they can have at it. So that's good news. Still queen right. Moving on. And I almost forgot, a little bit of bee fuel. Good morning. It's Sunday, August 10th. Actually got a good amount of homestead stuff I need to do today. I've got a good amount of mowing to do. I'm going to start working on some wood that I've been stacking. I've got 7 quart of wood in this year. And what else do I got? I got to be feeding the bees some. I mixed up another big batch of sugar syrup yesterday, so I'm going to be going out and feeding the bees. Checking on the status of those pollen patties that I gave them the other day too on my small nukes and my problem hive. And there's some more stuff. I gotta go check my list. I actually wrote a list last night before I went to bed because I knew I'd have a lot to do today. And all of this is something that I need to be doing before this afternoon because I got a bunch of buddies coming over. Next week is going to be brutally hot. It's supposed to be 95 and really humid every day. So we got to pretty much, they're calling for 4 or 5 days of the heat wave. So that'll be pretty brutal. And we need rain. I'm hoping the rain comes in a little bit or we get a couple storms or something, because if we get some storms coming in, then it might give us a little bit of a fall flow. I got a lot of goldenrod coming in right now, and I have a good amount of, hey, don't eat too much grass. And I got a good amount of aster that's going to be coming in as well. And if we can get some good rain, I'd really like to get a fall flow going on. So at the moment though, the priority, coffee, then work. morning, ducks. Luckily, I don't know if the pinwheels have worked or the canopies have worked, but the eagle hasn't gotten any more ducks. That initial weekend, the bald eagle that lives nearby, got 3 of my ducks. And 3 of my laying ducks, my new ones too, my hybrid 300s from Metzer. And thankfully, the attrition has seemed to stop, because it's not a good way for a duck to go, that's for sure. So hopefully the eagle continues to stay away. Rena, leave the duck poop alone. Luckily, my remaining 7 ducks are still laying pretty well. Occasionally, I even still get an egg from my Welshie. She lays a little bit smaller, as you can see, but that's pretty good for a duck that's 6 years old? 6 or 7, I want to say 6. I think I just broke it though. I did. So now that egg is going to the dogs. Yep, doggy treats. Usually the big dog is out here with me too, because the chickens are really good for stepping on their eggs and cracking them, so he gets the eggshells. But we're not going to tell Mom that. That's a secret between me and the internet. Go go, Arena. Hey, chicken. I'll get you a little bit more food in a bit. Come on, mamas. Go. Yep, so they did some damage in here to some of the eggs for sure. Unfortunately, I get a good amount of eggs like this. They've been stepped on, so to the dogs. Hey, get out of there. I'm busy picking up eggs. You can lay more when I'm gone. Sunday is typically my egg wash day. And I get quite a following of people that are after the eggs in my farm stand. Usually, by the time I put the eggs out there, which I sell them in 18 packs, I usually get 4 or 5 18 packs. On a good week, I'll get 6. Oftentimes, boy, I'm talking to you. Oftentimes, those are sold out in hours. So, that's pretty awesome. More cracked eggs. Usually if I get about I don't know, sometimes they're weird. Sometimes they'll lay 20 eggs in a day, and sometimes they'll lay maybe a dozen. But they're almost always breaking about 3 or 4, which is annoying. I don't know if they're stepping on them or pecking them. Today there's a bunch of yolk and egg whites still in the thing, so I don't think they're eating them per se. But hey, go get your eggshells. But gotta go wash up a whole bunch of eggs, a week's worth of eggs. That was on the list today too. Got a strange bee in the bee yard today. No idea. I hadn't even opened up the gate yet. Those were still latched, so somehow she got in without getting shocked, which is good, and she's not getting stung. But yeah, there was something curious in there. She wanted to see what was going on. Rena, you gotta come out, puppy. You're gonna have to jump this and don't get shocked, okay? So I'm gonna fill up for the sugar syrup. Since my hose is too short, it's only a 10-foot hose. That's on my wish list for a longer hose. What I've swapped over to doing, I have a little 1-gallon feeder, but the problem is I feed a gallon, I have to come out and fill it every time. So I have a 5-gallon bucket with a dispenser nozzle, and I just drilled a tiny little air hole in it that's too small for bees to get into. So I fill up 5 gallons at a time, and then I just put this right into the frame feeder, and it works out pretty good. I have a little helper out here with me today. Come here, stand up. Of course, I don't have youth-sized equipment yet, so she has an adult bee veil on. Of course, she didn't wear pants, she wears shorts. So come here, come out here. So we decided if she does need to take cover from the bees, what are you going to do? She makes herself a whole little bee tent. And now they're not going to be able to come in at all. So,
Nope.
so that's pretty hilarious. So these are the 4 nuke boxes. Some of them are out of frame here, but these are the 4 nukes that I had set up. This is the one that I have the actual active mated queen in as well. So this hive should be doing the best out of the 4. And I say nukes, this is the only one that got a mated queen. The other 3 were actually walk-away splits. And then I have 2 more mated nukes that are down the way. Actually, one of the queens, I don't know if if she died, didn't make it, they killed her or whatnot. But I actually had to reinforce that one with some young larvae the other day. So hopefully I got some queen cells in there. But the bees look like they're doing pretty well in here. I am getting a good amount of drowning. Let me grab the camera here and show you what's going on. Which is unfortunate that I'm getting this much drowning in here. If you can see that. So what I'm going to have to do on that is I don't really have a problem with small hive beetles up here. But to avoid any problem, because what I've seen in other beekeepers' videos is this is pretty much a small hive beetle breeding ground, because not only do you have the sugar, which is a carb source, but you also have the dead bees in there, which is a protein source. So if you had a small hive beetle problem, this is a great little breeding ground for them to lay their eggs, to have their larvae, to go out and pupate and all that stuff. So I'm going to be dumping these out and putting them in a separate bucket. So that way, just in case, again, I don't think I've seen a small hive beetle all year, but just in case there's something in there laying eggs that I don't want to be there, I'll put it in a bucket to keep it separate. But I do have, I don't know, only about 1.5 frames of bees here, but they do have mostly drawn comb. These are just foundations, so I'm going to move these to the center and make sure they draw everything out. And then I'm going to go down the line, just make sure everybody's got feed, and then my problem hive over there, they're going to get feed as well. I'm going to, anything that has a honey super on it, these were all wet supers that I put back on the hives, with the exception of I think 2 of them which had brood in them still, so I was just waiting for that brood to hatch out. I'm going to tip all of those just to see if I have any honey weight. It's pretty dry right now, so I might not have much of a fall flow, but if I get a fall flow, anything that I get, I'll consider it a bonus, and it'll really just help out with a lot of, people are wanting a lot of honey from me, so I'd like to be able to produce it. So I was moving over those frames. Not only I saw a wonky comb, but then I also see, so you can see her, my mated queen's on there as well. So I got to move her so I can fix the wonky comb that they're building. I also, when I attempted to dab her with the pen, I kind of gave her a full blue dress by accident. But she's doing good. She's very, very blue.
Oh, I see that.
So it wouldn't be beekeeping if I didn't forget something. Told myself I wanted a weed whack today, so I had to go back and get the weed whacker. That's how I'll finish up my day today. Still got a few more things on my list that I had mentioned, but let's go ahead and clean this area up.